Hello, guys, and welcome to our stream tonight. We're gonna be having Clash of Glory for HOK. Four teams have played in a lot of semifinals, a lot of games in semifinals, but right now we're in the final, playing for two teams. Which one of them is gonna be looking for glory? Is it gonna be Dark Store or Dark Alliance? We're gonna see in a few moments. But right now, let me just introduce to you myself and my co-caster. I'm gonna be your host for today and colorcaster, and my co-caster is gonna be Mr. Alpha from across the world. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much for introducing me. It's an honor to actually commentate with you as well. So, of course, we have some teams, some exciting matches early on, and now we finally are going to see the finals, which is in between, Dark Star and Dark Alliance. So that's going to be two very dark teams. Let's see who's the darker one to win this one.
Let's see is gonna be able to come in clutch and actually being able to be the winner for a Clash of Glory for our stream tonight. We have been seeing like a lot of meta picks. I have been surprised like seeing a lot of new faces in the MENA scene, a lot of players. It's really interesting seeing how they came like far from the start. We had like a lot of teams competing, but right now in the finals 10 players are
Yeah.
going to be playing in the uh what's it called, yeah, the no, okay,
The
I
thing
have
is,
lost it.
actually,
Yeah, the pick
we
and
are
ban thing. Yeah, the global ban. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah,
global
I
ban
tweet
take
off like,
actually.
yeah, the global back pick and ban, which means whenever you're gonna be able to pick a champion, you won't be able to pick it for the next match.
Yeah, of course, it provides the opportunity for lots of players to play in a different variety and showcase and not just spam the same heroes again and again.
Mhm.
So it provides us the opportunity for the tournament organizers as well to get to the one fair winner, which has more experience with all the characters and which are much more skilled. It's a pretty fair competition, and we are just going to actually move on soon onto the lobbies for that team, and I'm really excited for that. Let's see how the things comes out for this.
Hmm. Yeah, but speaking of lobby and speaking of picks, speaking of players, following the tournament, new faces, you normally expect them going for some ranked picks, most of like 5Q stuff, but like what I'm seeing is most of meta picks. Like I have seen a lot of Luna, I have seen a lot of Alicia. I've seen a lot of stuff for from the players, which makes me more interested in seeing the new talents and new faces in our region.
Thing is, the good thing actually is the players like to play like more aggressively at the at the starting level because they like to carry the team and their team trusts in them as well, especially the assassin and the ADCs. So yeah, they got the potential in themselves and they have the confidence as well. Mixing up with some experience of their players, I think it can be really vital for any team. Those assassin and ADCs in the early game and even ADCs in the last game. So yeah, we're expecting a good final fight in the grand finals.
Yep, exactly. A good final fight is what we are looking for. And speaking of a good final fight, I'm gonna go through the meta a little bit. Basically, we might be looking for a lot of healing supports, which means supports in the roaming category. And like speaking
Yeah.
of having two fighters maybe playing on some good mage in the mid lane, Lady Frost is one of them. You can use, I don't like, there is a lot of potential and a lot of heroes that we can look for.
Yeah, of course. Even the teams are playing the attackers in the cash lane as well, in the farm lane as well, and the mid lane, the mages. So which come mages especially comes in handy, and they're gonna have to whoever want to win this, they actually want to have a good farm lane as well because they farm there, especially the late games ADCs, and especially the mage. The roaming role is going to be really important because that's where your supporter lies, and the rotation where it goes to support the ADCs in the mage, the rotation of getting the team backing up, not letting them die, and taking the initiators. So that's going to be a key thing for the teams, their supporters and their tanks as well, because they have to be a solid front lane to give their back lane, a chance. Because if they can't, just get farm early on and they miss some farms, or they just go right away into the fights without any farming, especially in the 4 minutes, you have a tower protection of the game. But
True.
after 4 minutes, and the team is likely to attack your turrets. And that's where you want to have some levels on yourself, including the fighters and the tanks. So the earlier farms and the tanks supporting the backlaners, I think that's going to be crucial, because, as I told you, the teams like to attack more, but they can't, just misread or just neglect the fact the tankers and supporters which brings in the game.
True, and speaking of that, like I like the fact that once we're having some fighters in top side, you can count on them on being your main source of front lining in team fights. He can use that, and also um, using the junglers to play around top side, getting the TP, playing around both rotations. It's gonna be pretty efficient, and it's gonna help us a lot into watching the games. Ladies and gents, please welcome into our final stage of the tournament. First game of the final, we're gonna be facing Dark Alliance versus Dark Store in the INGAGE tournament Clash of Glory for Honor of Kings HOK. The picks are gonna be visible to us in a few seconds. The bands are a bit like out of the frame, like I'm trying to see it here
And let
and
me just,
there.
uh, you don't have to, go behind the
You
bars
know.
to see that. We'll
Uh,
eventually get to the teams. But you know what? I want to tell you one thing, and I think the Team Dark Alliance would be aware of that as well. Fortunately or unfortunately, they're playing their actually the possible first match, and that's the biggest match they're playing, the grand finals. And they're gonna have to be aware of that psych, man. That crazy Sung Jinwoo DP. That's crazy as Sung Jin Boo. So you have to be aware of that man, Sak, because I saw him play. He, just trash players like, and he even on the low HPs, he likes to engage, and that's what make him dangerous and vulnerable as well. So that's going to be interesting how they plan against him and the rest of the team.
Hmm. I like the fact that we're having Long as the first pick because basically he's one of the most OP picks in HOK. You can use him, and also whenever he used uh, the white dragon is gonna help him a lot in
Yeah.
repositioning and getting away from any bad position. Angela is like a bit meh, like it's something I would go to. So whenever it's something I would go to in my ranked games, I know it's not that that good and
The
competitive.
thing is, actually, it also gives you repositioning, but it also gives you buffs and debuffs. It slows the enemy, deals a lot of damage. You have, time to manage yourself, maneuver yourself. There's a better position, maybe get back, or get to the left or right side of the enemy, helping them missing their moves, missing the targets. So
True.
that's going to be interesting with the Loong, and even without the ultimate, it's a really a good pick because lots of people trust him.
Well, you can trust on Angela. It's really good in controlling areas, but the problem is she doesn't have mobility. It's easier to catch, and in HOK, trust me, the assassins won't let you alone. Right now, you can see the Junk Fei being picked off on the red side or like the second pick side. Also, Concert U. Concert U is one of those marksmen that you can counter her hard, not hard, on her large range. It's basically good whenever you're playing stand ground composition. Also, having the Junk Fei is one of those heavy engagers. So basically, you're gonna use him and Ogren to open a team fight. Concert here is gonna be the follow up damage, and basically, maybe you can have something like Ladies in as a supportive mid laner. Maybe you can have Princess Frost as an addition to your side. One of those, maybe Young One. Young One is a good
Yeah.
option also. So It's
The thing is,
between this
whatever
and that.
they're going to use, they're maybe targeting, and then of course they will target the marksman, and we see a physical fight popping up by DRG Uruhara. They're probably playing that in the clash lane alone.
Hmm.
But the thing is, the
Dharma.
assassin is going to be really play an important and crucial role on the both sides because we see a marksman, a physical attacker, and the mages, the marksmen all over. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they position and how much farm they're going to get, especially their junglers and ADCs. So it's going to be really interesting.
True, and like speaking of being interesting, Dharma being picked off as one of the clash laners that you're gonna be counting on. Dharma is basically your shield. So you're having Ogren in the jungle, basically,
Yeah.
Dharma on top side, Concert you as a marksman, Dunk Fei in support. So like uh Dorma is basically one of those flankers. You can use him either as a flanker or someone to engage in team fights. He gets
Yeah.
like a lot of stacks. When he stacks like the three stacks, he gets a lot of armor that he's gonna be able to use it whenever you need him in team fights. Also, he got like some burst damage that he can count on him, whether
A big stage where they can make their name and get themselves recognized. It's also a pretty the nerves they are actually having carrying this match. It's going to be really a crucial factor because sometimes even as a caster and as a player
Mhm.
they play at a different level when nobody is watching, and when you're at the grandest stage you actually have to control yourself, control your nerves, and then get your potential out. So that's going to be really interesting. And now we see the freezing bulls attacking. We see an early fight over here in the mid lane. See if they are going
Mhm.
for the goals and experience. And now looking go back.
Mm.
And they're looking now to take the farm. Actually, we might see a confrontation here by the Hakim, and he just goes back. They don't
Huh.
want a big fight early on, really. They just want to get some extra farms on the minions, and we're seeing a mid lane fight over here. That's good.
Yeah, they're
And
just playing around mid, getting the push in the waves, and basically they're trying to cut the waves on both side and trying to invade your jungle. That's your E to get in and fight for your stuff. That's basically something you're just gonna be doing as Dark Alliance
yeah,
defending their both side jungle right now. If you're speaking of scaling, Dark Alliance need their second items. But like, actually, no, it goes to Dark Star. Dark Star Angela needs to scale, and Long needs to scale. Long at least needs the three items to be online in any team fights. Other than that, you're just gonna use him as like a free auto sandbag. I don't think that he can tank that much. But speaking of that,
yeah.
you're still having
And we are engaging
forced
with the fights
a
with
lot.
the jungles a little, but the thing is, even before the 4 minutes and the earlier jungle protection, it's not stopping the teams to invade the jungle of other teams, and they're continuously trying to do that. Especially, you see the Yo-Yo and the Dark Star, they're looking to get something out of their jungle, and we see a minion trade over here with the Dark Alliance and also with the player from the blue side, Dark Star. He is also trying to cover the most meaning as possible here in the farmland. Now we see damage over the first blood has been done by certainly from Praise the Fool. The Fool has fooled the Dark Lions first. He took the first blood this time, and it's an early little experience advantage for them. More the killer earlier, the more the higher level you're gonna get, and it's going to be really difficult for the Dark Alliance as the game goes on.
A really good room from Angela from the mid lane, using the laser to collect the first blood on both sides. The Dark Alliance are trying their best to actually keep up with gold. Right now, you know that the Overlord and the Tyrant will spawn in 40 seconds. I can see the Dark Star are actually having full control over the river, and right now it's all about both side. Al Fatah is just moving from bot to mid,
Yeah.
just collecting some information and going back again so he can face Dharma without having any problems.
That's a really crucial thing because yeah, as you say, just the things are actually happening on the bottom lane on the farm lane, and he's only tagging the team. But I think gonna have to go. He escaped from that position earlier, but now the team is fighting over to the bot lane and trying to get the earlier turret. We have three versus three at the farm lane, and that's interesting to see how they maneuver themselves. And we see the Overload and Tyrants are here as well, so we might see a bigger competition at the objectives. But still, we are having great competition at the bottom lane, at the farm lane, and of course they will be positioning. But we see damage
Oh, look at the
from
damage!
the. Oh God! They defeated one hero here.
Yeah, trying to survive. Also, the stun coming out from the mid laner. The follow-up damage, the knockups. You can see no one is actually following up, so you won't be trying to commit a lot in this bot side. Riverfire Dharma is grabbing the mid wave, trying to catch two waves at the same time. And the damage
Yeah.
have been done to Ogron is gonna make him go back to the base.
Yeah, of course, because the earlier the kill you have, can have a look at the scorecard. They have already, taken down three times their heroes, the Dark Alliance, and they're putting them in earlier pressure. So on the clash lane, we can see the minion trade, but now they'll be moving into the mid lane and close to the overload because everyone wants to get to that overload. But they're trying to sneak in and get to the maybe the turret as well, and here in the farm lane because Yo-Yo is with the fool, and they're trying to invade the farm lane turret. But we have the defense there as well from the Dark Alliance, but they're still looking to gank up on the bottom. We see a
Oh, look
fight over
what's
here as
happening in
well.
red. Invade is here.
Yeah,
The damage is gonna be taken 3v2 situation. You can see the dash in. The damage coming out from Dharma, grabbing with the first skill. And the diffusion, or like diffusion, is gonna be happening from your jungler 2v3 situation and top side. You end up with two kills. Dark Alliance are back into the game.
yeah, of course, because they have taken out the two crucial kills. It will not only give them the extra gold or experience, but the confidence back that they can pull this off, and that's what we need. And we see a mid lane fight crashing over here, but now they're going to fall back because they're creatively trying to, they don't want to give the experience back to them right after killing the two of them. So we see a dragon white flying in the air. I think it will take the damage on the minions only because the enemy team Dark Alliance was already after the route.
OTP been taken to bot side. Still contesting the Overlord is gonna be actually not Overlord. Overlord have been taken like long time ago to Dark Alliance. Right now it's gonna be that Tyrant. What's gonna be your target? Ogren is actually moving around 4v2 situation, having the slows, the stun, no follow-up damage, respecting the Angela appearance and the movement that you can see from Al Fatah from top side. They're just stopping it, but Angela with the
Trying to
combo
ulti.
actually cleans him so hard in mid lane.
You're gonna have to look at that. He just one ultimate and a total delete. Oh god, that's a good catch over there. Even he
Oh.
full even does the damage, the piercing damage, and even took one kill. That's a good thing actually. And now we're seeing the teams fighting right over here for the little minions for the extra experience, and they're trying to take out the turret. He damages the red team, and again a move, but it doesn't damage, but the opponent is still alive. And Syke looking to gang up opponent from behind, and he uses his move, trying to get him, and killing spree for the Syke. Oh, what a gang back there. We see amazing damage over here as well. Doing the damage. It's a bank of damage over. The dragon is flying high, repositioning and bringing the waves into the play. The Icy Wind is doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of fights, trade 1 for 1 on the bot side. River Dharma has been left over And look at this
Oh,
wipe in mid lane. The damage that's gonna be coming out from the Ogren is just insanity. The slows are here,
yeah.
ultimate being whipped, and look at the follows. Triple man knock up, triple man damage follow up here is pretty low HP. Concert you is the kiting, grabs the first blood, the second is gonna be brought to you by Angela. Double kill, the triple. They are still hovering in mid lane and trying to get the pressure off and forcing
Yeah, of
the
course.
second overlord. Actually, no, it's gonna be the
They
second tyrant. Yeah, the shadow tyrant is more important.
No, yeah, of course, because it gets you the enhanced buffs. So of course it is more important. And if you have a look at the kills, it's a 7-6. But the Team Dark Alliance have took two of their turrets, which will be actually slowing their minion waves to take their turrets. So exactly what they want is to destroy the turrets. And now we see the fight going on here in the jungle. And that's a good fight. They use ultimate over here, and one is defeated. We have 4 into 3, and now he's going to 4. The beautiful smashing hits over here, and it's going crazy.
The damage being picked off from Angela, actually, she completed almost. No, she completed two items, the healing one, and one that is gonna give you the extra AP over time that dashes the moves from Sock and bot side is gonna be paying off. But at the same time, the shutdown over Angela, the auto attacks being spread
Oh,
off from concert use, pretty impressive. The dash in from the backside, last auto attack will grab the kill. The execution is important. And the
oh
movement
God,
speed,
man!
concert you, range is just insanity. Last auto attack won't land, and the red won't give you the kill.
Yeah, of course, they are not letting their
Karma.
advantage go. Man, again, a dragon flies high, trying to reposition himself and do some extra damage close to the tyrant, but he lands safely. He lands safely back there, trying to get some extra buff. Meanwhile, the Team Dark Alliance already taking on the enhanced overload. We see Yo-Yo coming here, doing the damage and interrupting them. It will put some extra time to get to that objective.
Jairus
But we
actually is gonna
see,
be pretty good into helping your team starting, not starting any team fight, have you some control over the area. That's it. Dark Star are actually looking for not actually the tyrant, looking for the tyrant and the
yeah.
bot side, which is gonna be easier to take because basically you have 90 seconds of debuff, like he can deal a lot of damage to objective for Dark Alliance right now. They engage in mid lane. The stun won't land. Angela is just fishing here.
Just trying to get to the extra kill because the timing is already high and they're trying to get to the minions the possible, and now the fight is not about the minions but about the lives of the other heroes, and they're just positioning and looking for the initiator to start, and Jojo comes in and try to do some damage, but it puts the Dark Alliance a little back there. They're trying to initiate the big attack so they can go all out, but they're now stretching out their powers on the tyrant, looking to take it down for the extra buff, and they take it
Oh
almost, and they
man,
did.
Zhang
Oh
Fei
God!
being bigged off. Shield is gonna make him survive for a long time. Ogren is trying to use the wall to his side, trying to separate the enemy team, but Ogren is actually alone 1v4. What are you doing, Ogren? The follow-up is gonna be following here. And the concertio auto attacks will make the
Now
trade
look
a
at the
2 for
attack.
0.
They
They're
are now
losing
actually
it.
forced to goes back because the damage you can see they took one of two of them heroes, now three. So yeah, it's forcing them go back, and maybe the turret will now be destroyed because they have no defense. As long as the minions come, they can do some little farming. That middle turret looks to be in trouble now because the team is there, and we are having another fight over here. Big fight, big splashes. The Hydra Pump type move does the damage. Another icy
Angela.
balls. Oh
And
God, man, that's going crazy.
3 kills for nothing. The tier 2 turret mid lane is gonna be taken off right now. You have the timers. 20 seconds is your call. The jungle is not yours anymore. Ogren is just playing with his life, trying to get some camps. At least he got grabbed one. But right now you can see the pressure over the 3 lanes. Al Fatih is on top side fighting concert but the auto attacks and the damage that
They,
he got is not. It's just insanity. The laser coming out from Angela takes half of your HP, forcing the high ground towards over
yeah.
top lane. but they prefer to get back, play on the enhanced or like the shadow overlord to get like the shadow vanguards.
Now they have destroyed like their six of the turrets. The Dark Star actually are looking to go aggressive, but here's the time. The thing is, when you're getting your turret destroyed, the same is the time when we can go all out and oppressive, because the only way to defense here is to attack. Otherwise, the Dark Alliance are going to rush in and make the opportunity, gainable. And now they're looking to reposition and gather around for a bigger attack. Team Dark Star.
Hmm. The jungle has been hard for you to get in. The gold difference is almost 10k gold, which is gonna be pretty good for Darkstar to
Now they
try
take
to
the
manipulate the
Overlord.
game.
That's a big buff. They took their hands Overlord as well. So the dragons will be coming anytime soon now into their lanes, helping them push further. Now they're looking to take the jungle as well.
Also, using the advantage that they got, the support is in a pretty rough position right now. You can see the trade, it won't be easy. Using the ultimate for his side, the engage may be looking for something. The ultimate guard from Concert You, but look at this Angela angle. Grabs the first kill, it's gonna be 4v5. Never mind, you got Dharma actually pretty low HP. The dash in from your backside, the damage has been taken in mid lane. You're still waiting for the dragons to shove in the waves. You're pushing two lanes mid
Now
and bot.
they're
Using Angela's
also going to
ultimate, it
attack
won't be
same
easy for you
time,
to
man.
survive. Four members are still two men. Now come and the dive is hard. You're not being able to defense flash in Angela's stun, and the laser won't be used. And right now, four people are dead. Only one to defense. Ogren got no one home to save him. And the base is gonna be out, and Darkstar will grab the first win over the series.
I mean, that was a big gank. They not even ganked the one. They first tried to destroy the middle main turret, and then they went for the farm lane one, and they successfully took it. The higher levels and the higher attacks buffs, of course, with the enhanced overload helped them much. The Vanguard stunning the turrets, and there was no chance absolutely for them because the team Darkstar was over them already from right from the start. So at that very moment, you don't have much things to do. You just try, but the other team is always up to you. It was a big, dominant win by the Dark Star in the first match.
Exactly, like a pretty solid performance from Darkstar in the first game of the series. I can see the angles that they were trying to. They have a pretty solid team performance. I didn't see a lot of action from Long, but like I'm pretty sure like I have seen Angela over the
Yeah.
places like in top, mid, bot, like any action, that you're gonna be seeing Angela. But like speaking of that, we're gonna go to a quick break and get back to you with game number two. Stay tuned.
And even we talked about Angela, that she doesn't have much of mobility, but
She,
she did the most of the part in this game.
yeah, game two I think is gonna be ready in a small portion of time. Like I really just wanted to fix the camera. Like it's fine.
You don't really want to actually put Angela really back because she performed and outperformed the most of the heroes in this match.
I mean, we can go for a quick break and get back to you and see how it's. And we're back for the second game of our final today. By my side here, yeah, here is gonna be Mr. Alpha, my co-caster. And yeah, we're just having a lot of fun watching the first game. It was pretty competitive till like I don't know, minute 7 or 8, something like this. It started shifting towards only one team. What's your like? What did you feel watching the first game, Mr. Alpha?
The thing is, what happened that you also have seen the other team, the Dark Star, they were really putting up the show right from the start. They took the initial skills, but then the Dark Lions tried to get back. They took some initial skills as well, but they could not get that momentum going up for them. And taking the invading the jungle, the Dark Star did well, and taking the kills in the lanes. I think that was a turning point because when you were already going good in the first game, right from the start, and you're now invading the jungle and breaking the turrets here
Mm.
and there, I think that's a real pressure for the other team to handle. And at that moment, I think the momentum was already starting to shift from Dark Star, and the pressure was building up on the Dark Alliance, and that's what it showed at the end. They were not able to actually handle it.
Oh, we're midway the draft already. And actually, I really like it. Okay, first of all, Saik, I believe that he got like Ogre in the previous game. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the global ban thing over here or it's gonna be only like playing normal. Like we're
It,
having Princess Frost, we're having Dahlia, we're having DRNG on top side. So Dark Store
Mhm.
are having the setup. They're having I believe the Lamp is gonna be pretty good here. I really like the Dark Star composition so far till now. The other side, it's still going decent for me, but like I'm going for Dark Star till now. Till now.
Yeah, you're going till now, but once the match starts, and then the dark side, going to rush in, but you can't just, just neglect the Dark Alliance. They will be trying to, get their strategies up again and look for their flaws and to cover them, and they will be more than eager to win this time because this could be the very final time. If they lost this, they will be losing the title for the Clash of Glory. They want to win this one, and they're picking their heroes this time to make this happen.
Wait. Oh, the switch was just like for the pick order thing. But like I feel that the draft is over. It's basically looking for the draft for the blue team. You're playing off the setup that you're gonna be having from maybe Lady Princess Frost. I'm sorry, like the setup you're gonna be having from Princess Frost as using the pillar or having the slows from the ultimate. The pillar is
I
not
think the
for Princess
Princess
Frost. Never
Frost
mind.
actually did the real thing as well in the first game, but now we gotta have to look out for that icy frosty queen. But they gotta have to somehow shut it up because otherwise it's not going to be easy for the team to take it down.
Yeah, for sure. First game went pretty good for them. But this game won't be easy. A lot of changes when it comes to draft. I like the Ogren. I like the picks that we're seeing from both sides. And speaking of the picks and speaking of the drafts, like Dark Alliance, they remind me of the previous year meta, like 2024. That was basically the meta you're having. The reset ultimate comp from Dahlia and support rule, which is gonna help you with the sustainability, the healing, and everything. Lady Princess Frost in mid lane is a pretty good control mage, which is gonna be just like cleaving waves. I feel it's a bit hard for her because it was like countered. Saik is looking for the invades over the blue buffed 1v1, but the smite will land immediately. Darkstar actually basing pretty hard. Four members are just looking for the invades. The knockup from DRNG is gonna land, and the Clash laners. I'm sorry, it was. Byron or no, no, not Byron.
Yeah, I mean, they have already put up their intentions into the position. They try to invade the jungle, and they did, and they eventually get a kill as well. And now they're trying, I think they are very much in early stance to take out that mid turret, and they're also trying to take that Crimson as well for the extra buff to engage and put the pressure extra on them. And they're now fighting over their jungle.
Like it's basically playing across your enemy jungle. You're denying the jungler from getting a way to scale. At the same time, you still have all your camps on your side. So Soak is pretty much having fun right now playing in his jungle after getting or like trying to invade the blue. He didn't get it, but like he put some pressure, he got some kills. It's only one kill, but like the 400 gold are starting to stack. Like you're trying to escape, but at the same time Dark Alliance are trying to fight back, trying to look for the counter engage. Right now look at the damage, auto attacks, but the support picks up the kill. Stun won't land, and the blue will be highly contested. The backup is here. 4v4, make it 5v3. Ogren picks up the kill, makes a trade. The stuns won't land, and the pool that's gonna be here from your support won't help you to sustain. Syke is just pushing them off your lanes.
Yeah, Uruhara basically just saved himself, in getting himself killed. He was on a low HP, and the still Darkstar heroes was trying to get to that as well. And now we see action over here in the jungle. There might be contested. All right, so we see the players moving in already and now taking out the blue team turret. They are in a position, but let's see if they want to engage at the very moment now because it's pretty early of the game, like 3 minutes, and they're still doing so much aggressive. You'll have a look at that. It's trying to just get to every possible farm and put them level behind. We see the damage over here, man. They're now going back to their bases in their jungles.
Look at the difference between the junglers. Look at the difference between the gold. So basically, you have 2k gold at the hand of your. Actually, no, it's not the jungle. I'm sorry, that's the Clash laner. I got mixed up a little bit. Like the big order is not fixed, so it's a bit hard to catch on. Like I look at Clash laners, you have a lot of maintenance, a lot of HP, a lot of gold being pressed in yours, and like at the same time you're having almost 400, no, not 400, 600 gold advantage, but at this moment using the ult to give you some disadvantage. The advantage, that damage that's coming from the Princess Frost, the area of control and the area of damage is gonna give you everything that you need. Ogren is looking for the re-engage, knock up, and the base damage is gonna be enough to get the second kill in mid. The dive won't be easy, but Syke is still queuing up the flag. The drag will get the triple kill for Ogren, and the mid lane turret is gonna be a +1 after the 4 kills.
Yeah, I mean, they did a big push over here, gank after gank, because at the one time I thought they will stop ganking him, but they again got rushing in, and now still they are fighting over the objective also with the people. They took down another hero of Dark Alliance. So I think that's going pretty much for your team as of now. Dark Star is doing insane damage and putting again the pressure on the Dark Alliance.
Byron is actually looking for a pressure. Actually, speaking of Byron, he's having a huge shield, breaking up his ultimate, using the life steal to sustain. And the top side, the first skill is gonna be used. The second for this engage. The top side turret is gonna be your target right now. Darkstar are pushing way too hard, freezing the waves and cutting the waves. So you grab the turret in mid, the turret in bot, and right now you're just trying to reposition yourself. At the same time, checking the mini map, you can see that Ogren is actually picking off the tyrant on the bot side of the map, which is just
Yeah,
insane.
they are looking to now reposition and now trying to attack to the farmland because they see the turret standing there and they don't like it standing. And they are now pushing in with their minions and Immune tries to defend it alone. He may want to go back and use ultimate. Oh my, the turret is losing some health now.
He got collapsed on immediately. No turret, no support, no nothing is gonna stop Darkstar from marching toward your base. Your crystal is the hunt, the 4k gold advantage, is starting the snowball effect. We can see it, but right now the top side, the 1v1 and the maintain that you're having from Byron is just insane. Like I like what I like about Byron is the life steal and the sustainability that he can get in side lane. You need at least two members to try to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, you need supporters as well backing you up, especially when you're in a position where the other team is actually onto yourself, and you need extra support to take a hero like Byron, man. You're already under pressure now. The fight is going on 1v1. He's trying to goes back now, but yeah, they might want to do
Oh,
something
look at
heroic
Lady's.
or oh,
Lady Sun is actually grabbing the high ground totem bot side, like she grabbed the tier 2. Right now she's pressuring the high ground totem bot side, but look at this Ogren picking up the base using the ultimate. Is gonna be pretty good damage from Yo-Yo. Won't maintain and won't give you the kills. I believe that they're gonna try to reconsider or like re-engage, at least looking for a hunt here, looking for the prey,
I mean,
having the
look at the
pillar to help
timings.
them.
It's almost like eight, not even 8 minutes, and they are pushing it for the final main
Oh
turret,
boy.
and now the oh the
3v2
fight is.
situation, you can see the flash in, the damage, the auto attack will pick the shot down, and Byron still looking for it. I really like the Byron position, still aggressive, but Lady Zen is actually pushing the mid lane. Tier 2 is gonna be off, and Darkstar having a huge control over the map. The stun, the damage, the shield is gonna make you sustain, but not for long. He grabbed the one, the second is gonna try to flash, but the dashes will be enough for him to grab the stun. Maybe the last auto attack will land and grab the kill.
Man, they're still
But
engaging
here,
in the Dark Star. That's a
Triple
huge
Man,
streak.
knock up.
Oh,
Saik is keeping up the pace, looking for the backside. Saik is actually doesn't have a lot of HP left, but actually survives for so long. The healing that he's getting is just super massive, and the sustain. I really like Saik, and I really like his performance still now.
I mean, when the supporter is supporting you really hard, and you are already like you have confidence back in your pocket, and you destroying the teams, and you're getting the kills eventually from the start of the match. That's pushing nothing back. You always want to keep engaging and engaging. And on the other side, now the Dark Alliance, they want to actually farm. But if you have a look on the Dark Star, they're already eyeing on the even greater objective, which is the enhanced, not the enhance, I think that's the overload they have taken, and now the dragons will be coming any moment now back to the Dark Alliance. That's putting the extra pressure over here.
Exactly, ladies and Ogron are just having the best out of them. Till now, I can see like I really don't want to forget anyone, but like Sa'iq Ogren is just controlling the map. 5-1 and 3 in the score, 6.3k gold
And
is pretty massive. Ladies in is
oh,
actually here, pretty tanky, pretty securing the control over the rat is not gonna be yours. The damage will be enough to grab Yo-Yo and shift back towards your mid lane, try to defend those dragons, and I believe Darkstar are slowing the pace a little bit.
yeah, of course. I mean, have a look at the dragons. They're already onto the main turrets for the Dark Alliance. They're going to have to defend it. Not only the dragons, but also the Dark Star. They're putting immense amount of pressure on them. I think any moment soon the fight could erupt. But have a look at this.
Exactly, we can see it. Lady Zen is actually surviving using the second skill to reposition herself, but at the same time, you can see the auto attacks, the kiting back, and the push to Dark Alliance to get back into your crystal, get back into your base. You can't stop
Oh,
Darkstar from marching. You can see a pose, and let's check the replays.
yeah. Let's have a look. How crazily they demolished the Dark Alliance right from the start, and they were just like in 10 minutes taking almost the game out of the hands of Dark Alliance. And you can see the big fights over here, which happened in the mid lane. They try to, get their hands on to the Dark Star, but the Dark Alliance actually is not getting up to the pace the Dark Star are playing with. And now we may start resume the match. Let's see the live action, what's happening down there.
But 6k gold advantage, not 5. I'm bad with maths. 6k gold advantage. And The full
Trying.
control over all objective is just insane.
I mean, look at the position of the Dark Alliance. They're even so scared. It's not a bad thing to get scared or get defensive because they're in a position to be defensive. They're going back and stay, rethink what they're going to do. But I think the fight may happen anytime soon, a bigger fight, and they are getting ready for the team, for the fight
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Lady Zen just demolishing one member, but at the same time, versus Frost using the ultimate for a crowd control. The HPs are pretty low, and I feel like versus Frost is starting to do some damage. Grabbing the mask is gonna help her a lot in the bursting a lot of tank members. And having a non-stopping damage over time is gonna help her a lot. The Shadow Banger is gonna be spawning in top side. The mid lane inhibitor is gonna be down. The high ground turret is out. The ultimate from Lady Sun will be popped off. You saw the explosive cask and you saw the push. The triple inhibitor baby is about to begin.
Yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
have a look at them. They're already getting ready for the final hit on the main crystal, and they're now attacking the turret on the cash clash lane. They're finding it out for the hero. They want to take it out, but
Looking for the
they.
position is pretty hard. Ogren is actually
Oh,
dashing in to get some damage using the laser double kill.
that was a
Looking for the
trap.
triple, trying to finish what they started with the first game. The triple is here. The quadra's out, and the final member will go back to the crystal to survive for a more time. But right now you can see the dragons, you can see the bush, and ladies and gents, Dark Star will grab the
And
win
that
and will get
is.
the win for Clash of
Oh,
Glory.
oh my man, that was the final hit onto that tower, and they decrystallized their base and, of course, pulled it up. The Clash of Glories title goes to their name, the Dark Star. So in the end, they proved it with all their heroes. Look at this site, man. I told you already before the game, he's going to, stabilize the team, even if Dark Alliance. They proved at the end that they are the better team and put on the title of glory onto their head.
Ladies in and Ogren composition is pretty good that they are using and in like inside when you're using the pillar and you're having the Ogren movement speed and he's actually just ignoring everything around the map and being able to get closer to you and to engage is pretty massive. You're using it, and also I like the supportive rule in mid lane. You use the pillar, you chunk the players, and you deal damage from Sonic. But right now, let's check some replays from the previous game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the lots of intense action we saw in that match, and we gotta have to have a once more look over here because that's the starting phase of the match, which actually really put the Dark Alliance getting a little to the back end position and think maybe more defensive. And we saw that at the very end they were defending their base here against the Dark Star. They started the fight, and there was no really one to actually stop them. They were really getting pushed back by the Dark Star right from the start until the very end.
Mhm. And still, for the second phase, like looking at the Overlord fight and the fights and top side, you can see that actually the position for Lady Zen and for Saik. Like I'm mentioning Saik's name a lot. Like they're basically cutting the waves and grabbing their team the capability to be able to get the outer turret in top side, and then they're just immediately after they done this, they immediately transition to mid. At the off camera, we saw um, the marksman grabbing the tier 2 on both sides, so they're basically playing on objectives, playing on map control, not going for only kills like they had almost, I think, 15 or like below 20 kills. So that means they had like not that much of fights. They were just going for objective and fights whenever you get something, or like here is how MOBA games work. Whenever you get a kill, the kill is not important. Like
Yeah.
the 250 gold or like the 300, whatever the shutdown you have on that guy is not important. What's actually important is what you're gonna do after you grab the kill. You got a turret, you got an objective, you got a tyrant, you got an overlord. That's the most important thing. And what's most important objective is the turrets. You need to take turrets to kill the crystal.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the positioning, they were actually rightly focused from the start to the turrets of the Dark Alliance, and they did put them extra pressure. Even took the early kills, and when the only one was available at their farm lane to defend the turret, they got on top of that hero and took him down really. They gave him absolutely no chance and destroyed the turrets earlier in the game, slowing down their minion waves as well, and which puts a little more extra of the pressure because they not only have to defend but they also have to attack, but they are not getting that same minion waves as the Dark Star was getting. So because they're taking some extra kills, they were having some extra murders over here, but the Dark Star actually pulled it off really dominantly into this match. Not this, but also the first one. I mean, they really proved it that they are the righteous champion for the Clash of Glory.
For sure. And I would really like to thank you for your time, for your casting. Also, Alpha, a huge shout out for you. I know that you're just starting up and you're picking up the base pretty good. I really like it. I really want to thank everyone behind the screens, on the production, on the teams, on everything for participating in the tournament. And I really appreciate that we're seeing the new launch of INGAGE try making something in Honor of Kings. Clash of Glory been has been like for our first step in Honor of Kings, but like stay tuned for more. We're gonna have a lot of good stuff coming. We're just cooking. And with that being said, we're gonna finish our stream today. Clash of Glory, Alpha, Seku. We have been here for you with you today. I hope that you're having fun. I hope that you're enjoying, and see you in the next event.
Yes.